ClubExpress Donations. The Donations function allows you to establish funds into which members and non-members can donate. A number of options are provided to control fund visibility, target, and whether anonymous donations are allowed. Donations are processed through the same payments processing module that's used for memberships and event registrations. On the admin side, this function also allows clubs to track and report on non-cash donations. Let's look at our Balloon Club demo site. A link to the donations page has already been placed on the public-facing and member menus. I've logged in as a regular member so we can see and contribute to all the active funds. Each fund has a title and description. It can optionally display progress towards a target amount. To contribute to a fund, click the Donate button. Now I've logged out and want to donate. People who have not logged in only see active funds that are not flagged as members only. Non-members or members who have not yet logged in see a set of fields to collect their name and basic contact information, followed by the date and amount. There's also a prominent notice and link for members to log in. Non-members who have previously made a donation or attended a club event can search for their record in the non-member database so that a new donation is linked to the existing record. Then they can proceed to the contribution details. To demonstrate a few more features, let's continue while logged in as an administrator making a contribution for himself. Because this is an administrator account, we see a version of the page with the following options. Make a contribution yourself, record a contribution by another member, and a member selector is displayed, and record a non-member contribution, and the contact fields are displayed. The contribution date field is editable for admins only. For all other users, it will show today's date. Use the comment field to attach a note to the donation, and it will be included in the confirmation email and on donation reports. This note can indicate the intended use of the donation. For example, the comment might be, "We specifically want to support the club's efforts to educate the community about hot air ballooning." The Contribution In option allows donors to make a donation in honor of, in memory of, and thanks to, etc., another person or organization. Some funds also allow donations to be made anonymously. The donation will still be visible to the club administrators, but they will know that it should be reported without the donor's name. If the anonymous option is set to no, users can specify how they want their name to appear in the contribution records. The system also allows donors to request that the club notify another person about a donation made in their honor or in memory of a loved one. When yes is selected, you'll see a set of fields for that person's name, address, and email address. Note that the system does not send this notification automatically. It's up to the club to generate a letter or email to the specified person. The system also allows donors to record whether their employer or their spouse's employer matches gifts. If yes or not sure is selected, enter the specified information, including a general description of the matching gift terms. It's up to the club to follow up on this information, get the necessary forms from the member, and submit them to the indicated company. Click Proceed to Payment to complete the donation. Members and non-members have the option of paying via credit card or check. Because I'm logged in as an administrator, as with any other payment, there are several admin options for recording the payment. When a donation is recorded, the system sends a confirmation email to the designated club treasurer. Clubs can also designate a donation fund coordinator who will receive the same confirmation email. When viewing any page in the donations function, coordinators and administrators can click on the edit icon in the Page Tools widget on the right side of the screen. Or administrators and function coordinators can click the edit icon for donations in the control panel's People or Money tabs. The Donations Administration screen shows the various funds you have defined. Funds have a specific purpose and act as buckets into which donations can be made. For each fund, the list displays the fund's name, when it was established, whether it is active or inactive, its goal amount, number of donations, and amount received so far. To add a new fund, click the Add Fund button. Specify the title and description for the fund and the date the fund was established. Specify an optional fund coordinator by clicking the Select link. If the notify box is checked during a donation, the fund coordinator will receive an email when the donation is made. Note that your club's designated treasurer will also receive an email when the donation is made. The active checkbox controls whether the fund is visible. Some funds may be seasonal in nature, only visible at certain times of the year. Use the Members Only checkbox to limit this fund's visibility to members. If the Donations module is placed on the public side of your website, this fund will not be included unless the member is logged in. If the Allow Anonymous option is checked, a special question is displayed to donors. Do you want this donation to be reported as anonymous? As an administrator, you'll still be able to see who made the donation, but if the donor answered yes to this question, he or she is asking you to report this donation as anonymous to the members or the public. The Suggest Amount option allows you to suggest how much should be donated. When you check this box, an amount field is displayed. The specified value will be shown on the donations page, but it can always be modified. The Goal Amount field lets you define the goal for this fund. You can also optionally check Show Goal to display the amount alongside the fund description. Specify the external amount received to track donations made outside of the system before the fund was set up. The amount specified in this field is added to the sum of donations made within the module to give a total progress number. You can also specify the non-archived financial account to be used for donations and the category in the non-member database to be used when non-members make donations. Click Save to save your changes and return to the Donations Administration screen, or cancel to return without saving. In the Maintain columns, there are icons to edit, view donations, copy the fund, and run reports. Click the Edit icon to change the properties for this fund. This displays the same pop-up window we saw when adding a fund. Click the Donations icon to display a list of donations for this fund. This screen shows the donor name and whether he or she is a member, the date and amount of the donation, whether it should be reported as anonymous, and the payment status, and whether or not it is flagged as matched. Click the donor's name to see a standard pop-up of contact information. These are the icons available in the Maintain column. Use the Edit icon to update details about this donation. The available options will be different depending on the payment status. For a paid donation, the fund and donation amount cannot be changed, but all other information is available. For an unpaid donation, the fund and donation amount can also be changed. If the payment status is not paid, you can delete this donation. And you can also click Make Payment for this donation. This option is only available if the current payment status is not paid or partially paid. You can click the Delete Unpaid Donations button to delete all unpaid donations for this fund, including their transaction records. This option will only impact donations with the status of not paid. Now back to the donation funds list. The Copy icon copies this fund's properties into a new fund, and you can change any of the details. Note that none of the donations already made are copied, just the fund's definition. The Reports icon lets you run reports for this fund. Let's take a look at the buttons above the fund list. The Donation Defaults button lets you edit the button text used on the donation screen, as well as the default non-member category for non-cash donations. The Display Sequence button lets you control the order in which active funds appear on the donations user pages, and you'll see the standard ClubExpress Display Sequencer dialog. Click the Reports button to run reports that aggregate donation data across the whole function. There are also separate reports at the individual fund level. A special report allows you to print an annual tax letter for each donor, formatted for a standard number 9 double window envelope. Click the Export button to export donations within a date range. The Donations Detail export file is in CSV format and can be opened in most spreadsheet programs. Note that the reports and exports include only financial donations. Now let's take a look at how to administer and report on non-cash donations. The Non-Cash Donations button allows a club or association to track other types of donations, such as clothing, building supplies, etc. Click the Categories button to create or edit categories. This is a standard ClubExpress grid screen with a separate Add Edit pop-up. You need to define at least one category before you can start recording non-cash donations. The Add Non-Cash Donations button lets you enter a new donation. Because only admins or module coordinators can record non-cash donations, there are 3 radio buttons that allow you to specify from whom the donation is coming. Select the category and enter a description. You can also specify whether the donor requested that the donation be anonymous and, if not, how they want their name to appear. Note that ClubExpress does not attempt to record a value for this donation, and the club should not be doing this either. For example, in the United States, per IRS regulations, if donors want to claim a tax deduction, it's up to them to determine a value using the most appropriate method, and it's up to the IRS to determine if this value is reasonable and to challenge it if they don't think so. Click Save to save the non-cash donation, or Cancel to return without saving. There's a button for non-cash reports and one to export the non-cash donations detail to a data file. So now you've seen how ClubExpress can be used to accept and manage various types of donations and contributions to your organization. You can also add a donations requirement to the new member sign-up and renewals by integrating with the additional charges module, and we'll cover that in another video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.